Hey guys!
Hello.
Welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to be doing our birth Q&A, and this is literally the 5th time that we've tried to record this. The first time was a few weeks ago and I didn't like how it turned out. And then we've tried 4 times today. We've been having some issues with cameras and batteries, and it's been a whole thing. So hopefully 5th time is a charm. Is that a saying?
Yeah.
So we're just going to get started. We have a special guest here. Lucky, say hi. Say hi, buddy. And Tex is very jealous that he cannot fit on my lap. But we will just get started. The first question is, did you stick to your birth plan? And the answer to that is no. Not really.
We stuck to it in the beginning, or you stuck to it to the beginning. But
yeah. The only thing that we really chose not to stick to was that I ended up getting an epidural. The rest was kind of more decided for us. The other things that we didn't really stick to, but it wasn't really our choice, was the filming, skin to skin, delayed cord clamping, sugar water, nipple shield, and pacifier, I think.
yeah.
I think that that's it, without like looking at our actual birth plan. But a lot of those weren't really our choice. I mean, we did have a choice, but we weren't like, it was really overwhelming and it went really fast. We weren't about to like argue about everything with all of the doctors. Everything kind of happened too fast and it was too overwhelming to do that. So hopefully next time we can get
prepared.
Yeah, we'll be more prepared. We'll have gone through it before and we'll know what to expect. And hopefully we can like hire a doula or something who can stand up for us.
Do they have those here?
Yeah, I'm sure they do. So we'll just have to look into that next time. The next question is, how long did you push for? And I think it was about an hour and a half, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think so.
And it felt like a lot shorter, but that was actually my favorite part. I felt like that was the easiest part and that was my favorite part. But yeah, about an hour and a half. The next question is, what was the hardest part for you personally? And I definitely think contractions.
Yeah.
Those were the worst pain I've ever experienced in my life. I never thought that they were going to be that bad. They're like 10 times worse than I expected them to be. And so that was definitely the hardest part. The pain of those, and emotionally how much, because from like the entire time that I was in labor pretty much, they were about 2 to 3 minutes apart. So I didn't really get a break to like switch positions. If I was going to switch positions, we had to like hurry fast as soon as the contractions end.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't really set things up the way that I wanted, or like relax in between and think and breathe. And it was really overwhelming, I guess. Emotionally overwhelming to have them that close together. So the emotional and the physical part of contractions. Contractions, those are horrible. The next question is, are you still in lots of pain or is it better? So now we're like a month out, so I'm not still in pain, but I did do some updates on my channel of 1 week and then 2 weeks, and then hopefully I'm going to be getting a month update up soon. So if you want to know like a little bit closer to actually when, like right after, then you can watch those. But at this point, I'm not in any pain or anything. Sometimes I do still have postpartum contractions, but very rarely. The next question is, it seemed like filming the birth became an issue at the last minute. How did you feel about that? Love you guys. We love you too, and that was so frustrating.
Yeah, it was. I was like, what?
Yeah, because we called twice beforehand to make sure that we could, and they told us that as long as you weren't like filming down there, she was coming out or anything like that, or if anything went wrong, then it was fine.
Weren't you even told you could film in a C-section?
Yeah, they told us that we could film in a C-section, like not like, you know, everything, but like my head and everything like that. And so it was really, really frustrating, especially since we went through our entire labor process and we were told that at the very last second. That was really frustrating because, I mean, I was in the middle of pushing. We were like an hour and a half.
That was
almost
like 10 minutes before she came out, I think.
It was like an hour and 20 minutes into pushing. And it's like, seriously, like, you're gonna try to talk to me about this right now? Like, I couldn't really say anything. I couldn't really talk to them or tell them what I was thinking or tell them, you know, that we had been told otherwise. So that was really frustrating. And I just feel like there was 2 people in the video. I'm not gonna like name any names, and I don't think that they're any less doctors or nurses or anything like that. but they just, I don't think were comfortable being filmed, so I think that that's why it was brought up, and that's why we had to stop. But I think that that's just why we had to stop. So next time, we will definitely be making sure, we will definitely be calling, like, a lot, and making sure, and talking to different people. And, like, as soon as we get to the hospital and meet our doctor, we're going to be like, so, we're going to be recording, and that's okay, and everything like that. And otherwise, we're going to have to sneak it. We're going to have to get my mom on sneak
Put it in like a cabinet with the door open.
Yeah. But we didn't really miss anything because...
No.
Yeah.
Pretty much not.
Yeah. As soon as she came out, Brandon's mom turned the camera right back on. And so you saw everything, pretty much.
Yeah.
The next question is, did you guys save Adeline's cord blood? If not, what was the reason? And we actually looked into it. It was something that we really wanted to do. But it is so expensive to, like, privately bank it. And there aren't really that many where we live in Montana. There's not really any in Montana. And then, so we were looking into donating it, because if we can't afford to keep it, might as well donate it. But there's literally nowhere in Montana. There's not, at least from what we researched, there's no way to do it. So.
Unless they were to drive to a different state.
And give birth, because they need it immediately.
Oh, they do.
So we couldn't really do that either.
Yeah.
So hopefully next time, maybe we'll be able to figure out a little bit more, but pretty limited where we live. The next question is, did you use your birth binder? And not as much as I thought I would, but again, I was really overwhelmed and I was having contractions every 2 to 3 minutes, so I didn't really get the chance to use anything that I really wanted to.
Yeah, we just used the positions.
Yeah, I would definitely
the first part of it.
Do it again next time. But I did use the positions that I had printed out a lot. We switched positions a lot.
Because I had no idea.
The next question is, TMI, but when you lost your mucus plug, how long until you went into labor or started having intense contractions? Love you. We love you too. And actually, they say that you can, like, regenerate it if you do lose it, so it doesn't necessarily mean anything. I lost mine, like, a month beforehand, and then obviously it regenerated, because we thought, oh my gosh, we're going to have a baby. Nope. It can definitely regenerate itself, so don't think that it's, like, set in stone or anything like that. But then I lost it again, like, 2 days before I went into active labor. The next question is, how does the whole birth process feel compared to normal cramps on a period? And you can't compare it. It's not comparable. Cramps on a period, although I have never really had bad cramps. I've never even really had cramps. The worst ones that I've ever had, like, don't even hurt that bad, so I wouldn't really know. Maybe if you have, like, really, really, really intense cramps, then it might be a little bit more comparable, but for me it was nothing. Like, contractions are horrible. They're like 10 million times worse than any period cramp I've ever experienced. The next question is, what got you through the really intense contractions? Love you guys. We love you too. And at first I was kind of like making noises and like moaning through them, and that did not help for me at all. And then Brandon started reminding me pretty much towards the end.
Like, it's kind of late.
Yeah. He kept reminding me to, like, breathe and to focus. And then once I started doing that, that helped a lot. I just kept breathing. I would just deep breathe and I would focus on my breathing, and I would look at a place, like pick a focal point, and I would focus on that, and that helped so much to just focus just on my breathing. So I would definitely say to try that if you're going through labor. Different things help for different people. I feel like some people making noises and moaning does help, but it like took more energy out of me because I was already so exhausted.
Yeah, well, you're kind of holding it in when you do
and I was tensing, definitely.
Yeah.
I like really wasn't relaxing, and that made it a lot worse. Because when you're like tensing, you feel pain more. Yeah. The next question is, did you wish you had out certain things in your hospital bag that you didn't? What do you recommend? And I'm going to be doing like an entire video on my channel about like what I used, what I didn't, what I wished that I would have brought. But I will be doing like a full video about that on my channel. The next question is, was it worth it to drive 2 hours to the hospital in labor and then coming back with the baby? Why did you choose a hospital so far away? So we chose it because it's a much better hospital.
Yeah, and they have a NICU
the
right there.
Yeah, the NICU is better, the birth suites are better, and it's just an overall better hospital. And also, we thought they were going to be able to film more.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if we would have been able to.
We got to film pretty much the whole thing though.
Yeah.
So.
But So that's why we chose that, and it was definitely worth it to me. The birth suites alone and the NICU are just worth it to me.
Having windows was nice.
The birth suites where we live they're not like so much like a bunch smaller, but there's not there's not as good as technology, and there's no windows to them, which is a really big part of my anxiety, feeling like I'm trapped. So I feel like I would have been anxious the whole time. And you end up getting moved to a postpartum suite, which are so small.
Yeah.
There's no room at all. Yeah, it's you can't even walk.
Smaller than a bedroom.
Yeah, so it's really bad. And then at the hospital that we went to, it was a huge suite and with windows, and we were able to stay there the entire time that we were there. The next question is, I noticed in the video they gave you Pitocin after birth. I always thought Pitocin was used to induce labor. How come they had to give it to you? And that's what I thought too. I was really surprised. I didn't even know that they gave that to me until I watched the birth vlog. And they actually give that to you after birth to help the placenta come out faster, I think. And so it's just for birthing the placenta. The next question is, she's so perfect. I have to ask, even though this is a little TMI, but birth can be TMI. Very true. I know you got the epidural, but did you still feel the ring of fire when she came out? I got the epidural with Nova and totally felt the ring of fire. I was surprised because I assumed the epidural would make me not feel it. Love you and God bless. We love you too. And I know that a lot of people do still kind of feel things and feel pressure, or they feel like the ring of fire. But luckily, I did not. I'm so glad that I didn't. But I kind of just felt like it felt like I was just pushing out a poop. I could still feel like that. Sorry, that sounds weird, but that's what I felt, and I'm really glad that I didn't feel anything more than that. Yeah, so hopefully next time if I do go get an epidural, I don't feel that, because I feel like that's the point. The next question is, what position was the most comfortable to labor in? Can you talk about each labor position you used and what you liked or didn't like? Well, I didn't use as many as I thought that I should have, but in my opinion, the birth ball, I only got on it for like a few seconds. Yeah. But it hurt. I didn't like that one, at least for me. It didn't help. So that one I didn't like. But like we said, it was so hard to get me into a position because we had to start immediately after, and we had to like plan.
Yeah, I'll grab the chair.
Yeah, and it was like a group effort to try to get me in a different position before another contraction started. So I didn't really try as many as I would like. What was one that I liked? One that I liked was when I was like kneeling, when we pushed the bed back, so it was kind of like this, and I had my head up against right here, and I was on my knees, but I was kind of pushed forward, my butt was kind of pushed forward, and then I would rock back and forth. That one helped. I liked that one. That one got rid of some pain. Yeah. And I think that was my favorite one, and then the birth ball was my least favorite one. And then sitting actually in the rocking chair with my feet up and rocking back and forth and focusing on the rocking and my breathing towards the end, that really helped.
Yeah.
The next question is, when you were in labor and pushing, was it weird for you to have your in-laws in the room? I really don't think I could handle having mine there. And I didn't have like Brandon's dad. He didn't even come to the hospital because it was like 2 hours away, and he was actually watching texts. Yeah. But I did have Brandon's mom in the room, and honestly, she's kind of like a second mom to me. We've gotten really close, so it's not really that weird for me. And at that point, I didn't really notice anyone in the room. Really, all that I was looking at was, I was looking for Brandon for support and whoever was down there, you know, looking at stuff. Because at some point, like, it was either the nurse or the doctor when I was close enough. Those are the only two people that I was really focusing on at that point. I didn't even notice anything else going on. I didn't notice the camera, nothing. So it wasn't really weird for me, and we are really close. And I know that it meant a lot for her to be able to experience that and to be there. So I would definitely have her there again if she wants to be. The next questions are ones that we just got asked a lot that we're going to answer. The first one was, like, how did we name Addie, or why did we not go with McKinley or Dixie? And we will have an actual, like, long video. Well, not long, but this video is already way too long. We will answer that and, like, going through what, like, our process and our thought process of it in another video. We will make another video hopefully soon about that. And then The other question that we got asked a lot is, would we do it again? Are we going to have more kids after going through it? And the answer to that is, what do you say?
Well, you're the one that has to go through it, so.
Yeah, definitely. 110%. I actually, as much as I say that it's overwhelming and it was intense and it was like horrible and hard, it was like so amazing. I would do it again tomorrow.
Yeah.
I just feel like it was such an amazing experience. It was just surreal. And I kind of wish that I could go back and redo it and like just appreciate it more, because at that point I was just miserable, and as I said, it didn't take a second to breathe. So I would definitely go back and redo it, and I will definitely be doing it again. We'll definitely be having more kids. We don't know when at this point. Ask us again in a few months or in a month or whenever she's done being colicky and lactose intolerant, but
And sleeping a little more.
yeah, definitely. I mean, we don't want too much space, but too much time in between our babies. We want them pretty close, but
Yeah, because we have like 4.
yeah. So we will definitely see, but that is going to be it for our birth Q&A. Hopefully this isn't like crazy long, and hopefully I can get it up today. So many issues. Hopefully this even works. Hopefully this has been recording. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
See ya.